Butternut squash is a winter squash with a nutty sweet flavor. It's extra delicious when you roast it. Really easy to make, only a few ingredients. You're gonna love it. Hello, and welcome to Cooking Lessons for Dad, where you'll learn to cook healthy, cook easy. My name is Karen Breyer, and today we are going to roast butternut squash. Butternut squash is a winter squash with a sweet, nutty flavor, and it's extra delicious when you roast it. Really easy to make, only a few ingredients. The ingredients in this recipe are cubed butternut squash, grapeseed or olive oil, kosher salt, ground black pepper, and baking spray, or you can use parchment paper to line your baking sheet. The first thing that you need to do is preheat your oven to 400 degrees, which I already did that. Next, we're going to go ahead and spray our baking sheet with cooking spray. And like I said, you could also line it with parchment paper instead. Next, we're going to mix together our butternut squash and our oil. 6 to 8 cups of cubed butternut squash in about a 1-inch cube, but it could be smaller or larger. Smaller cubes will cook faster, larger, longer, but make sure they're similar sized. So you can buy butternut squash already cubed up for you, or you could cut your own from a fresh whole butternut squash. And if you want to learn how to peel and cut butternut squash, check out my lesson on that. I think I have about 7 cups of butternut squash, 1 to 2 tablespoons of grapeseed or olive oil. I have grapeseed oil. I'm going to use about 1.5. Now I'm going to stir this together so the butternut squash is coated with the oil. Okay, now that our squash is coated, we'll add our salt and pepper, about 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt. And when it's finished cooking, you can add more if you like. And 1/4 teaspoon of ground pepper. You can use fresh ground if you like. I'm just using this because it's easy to measure this way. So you could add other seasonings if you would like. You could try maple syrup, different herbs, brown sugar would be really good. Salt and pepper is good too. You're going to be really surprised. So once the squash is evenly coated with the seasonings, go ahead and spread it on your prepared baking sheet. Put it in an even layer, a single layer. Okay, we're going to put our squash in the oven. We're going to bake it for about 30 to 35 minutes until it's tender. We'll be back in about 30 to 35 minutes to check it. Okay, it's been about 35 minutes. Let's check our butternut squash. Look at that. Okay, let's pierce one with a knife and see if it's soft. Yes, nice and soft, starting to brown. Let's go try them. Our butternut squash is nicely roasted. It's time to try it. So you can add a little bit more salt and pepper if you like. And remember, you could also add some brown sugar, maple syrup, or other spices when you are stirring in the salt and pepper and the oil. So I'm ready to try this. This is so good. That was so easy to make. You're gonna love it. It's so good. This is sweet, nutty, and delicious.